how we made 100 last meals. Mark.
Where are my show cards?
Has anyone seen my cards?
We can be the gross crew.
What?
You like that?
Can you see in here?
Whoa!
As of today, we have officially cooked 100 celebrities' last meals on the channel, which is an incredible feat, something that we had no idea could be possible when we started it, but then we've cooked Tom Hanks's last meal, Gordon Ramsay's last meal, Brittany Broski's last meal. So many of the greats, so many personal heroes I've gotten to sit at this table with and eat incredible meals. But today, for the very first time, we are going to take you behind the scenes to let you know what it takes to produce an entire episode of Last Meals. We're going from soup all the way to nuts. Where the hell does that phrase come from? But we're taking you all the way there. We have a very special guest booked for our 100th episode, somebody that you all know and love, but we're not going to tell you who it is. We want that to be a secret for when the actual episode comes out, but we've hidden a couple Easter eggs throughout here to see if you can figure it out. They're gonna figure it out, right? If you figure it out, keep it to yourself though, don't tell anybody. We are currently 1 week out until they arrive. Hopefully nothing goes wrong.
We got his last meal in.
Ooh. Okay, he wants rice and eggs.
Just like some basic?
It says brown rice with onion and bell peppers, fried eggs, and bacon and hot sauce.
So when I get the meal, well, first I get excited, and then the research starts, and we're looking up the celebrity plus the dishes and seeing if there's any other like backstory we can try to find if they weren't detailed about it. The part of this guest's last meal that makes me nervous is that there's a lot of food.
But anytime somebody says margarita pizza or Detroit style pizza, if they couldn't choose, we make both.
I think there's 5 courses plus our complimentary bread basket.
Zach Rezzawali has confirmed that he would like to make the loaf.
Yes,
What?
he is a
Yeah.
sourdough maker.
And
Oh my
he loves
god.
the guest that is coming on.
Oh my god.
It's probably in our top 10 for the most food.
I have a question. Why is Tony playing what I can only assume is like a video game from 2004?
Okay, this is New Horizons.
This came out like
five years
wait.
ago.
2020.
I literally have no idea what this is.
Sunday is coming.
I've never seen this game.
Do you know who Tom Nook is?
Can you, like, do your job?
I'm doing both multitasking.
Okay.
I kind of can't believe that this is gonna be the 100th episode of Last Meals. I was thinking about it, and I think only Josh can say that he's been here for every single one.
Sucks to suck for those of you who missed out on Catherine Hahn. That was awesome. Which one of you wasn't here for Catherine?
We're really excited because we're getting a little extra press around the 100th Last Meal, so someone's gonna be coming, visiting set, interviewing Josh, and kind of seeing how we do this.
Not only is it our 100th guest, but we're also filming this, the behind the show. So we have multiple cameras going on behind the cameras, and we have press, which is gonna be cameras behind the cameras behind the cameras.
So everyone will need to be on their best behavior. Nothing can go wrong, nothing will go wrong.
This is where all the magic happens. It's just me twiddling on my laptop. No, I am currently researching our guest, and so how that generally works is I'll make a document with a lot of their projects that I want to consume. This person is indeed a not only a film actor, but also a film producer. So I've made a list of what movies I'm going to watch, which I don't do at work. I actually finished one on the on the elliptical on my iPhone at the gym, just how the director intended for me to watch it. It's kind of become a tradition to start each episode with a really deep cut, which I found really kind of gets the guest to buy into the concept. If you can show like, hey, I've really researched you and this is about to be a really fun time. I think the key is to kind of look in places where other people might not be looking. I listen to a lot of podcasts, I go on a lot of walks and listen to it. Probably gonna go on that pretty soon. What I found though is one of his co-stars wrote an autobiography 20 years ago, and I Control F searched in the ebook our guest's name, and so there's a lot of deep cut stories in there. And I found a good one.
About how many times you haven't been reimbursed because you haven't filled out.
Yeah, so it's actually funny. I was just pulling up the ebook. They have wildly different prices. This one is $21, the most expensive ebook that I've bought. But it literally showed my list of Google ebooks, and I think I've spent, like $180 of my own money on them. I could easily use the corporate Mythical credit card that they've given me for exactly these types of expenses. But my own credit card's already saved on the computer, and I don't want to go back to do that. And I get paid in richness of experience and in many other things.
The amount of things that I haven't put on the company card that I should have, it's a lot. But then, I accidentally use it one time at a bar. You know, anyways.
I'm Colby. I'm an associate culinary producer here at Mythical. And you guys probably don't see me on camera too much, except when I'm making sushi on Last Meals. And that's because I'm in the background most of the time. Working on Last Meals is like the coolest job I've ever had. I love to serve people. I love to cook. I love to make people happy. And so when we have Lily and Josh doing a lot of research to really understand the guest, and then we bring that to us and we get to use our talents to make a good interview through the food. It's really cool to create the special moments for certain guests. Although, like Matt Pat, I still have beef with you because you gave us a fake recipe even though you knew the real recipe, and maybe it was just for the bit, but I wasn't laughing.
Lily does a great job of always like writing the specific guest verbiage that they themselves have sent at the top of the document when we're planning out what we're gonna make. So this is from our guest's mouth. Pizza is perhaps my favorite food. To distill it down to one style, maybe a classic margarita or Detroit style, but I love every style. Quarter Sheets is one of my favorite restaurants in Los Angeles. Quarter Sheets is maybe the best pizza in Los Angeles. They're, I suppose, Detroit. I don't know if they specifically say they're Detroit style, but it's very much like a square pan Detroit-esque pizza. Really fantastic. Husband and wife team of Hannah Siskind, and I don't remember the husband's name because I'm a feminist.
So one thing I do in my research for all of the recipe docs is, even if it's not in what they listed, I'll look up where they're from, because a lot of the way people connect with food is from the very beginning, like what their parents made, how they grew up.
So sometimes Josh will do this thing where he like comes up with a surprise, is what he likes to call it. You know, he does a lot of research and he's really, really, really great with research. That's something I really respect about him. But sometimes he'll come in like the morning of and be like, hey, did you guys know that this person really likes this thing? And we're like, what are you about to say?
His parents owned a deli, and they may have straight invented a condiment. I was looking this up, chains like Blimpie subs added dill spread to their menu.
But there's one cafe where they gave the recipe for this dill spread that's still open in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So I've been contacting them and seeing if they can send the spread.
Okay, Joshua, thank you for doing more homework than necessary.
So I always change into these bad boys right before my hot girl walk, but the Bombas, these stay on, because these keep me looking cool on camera and feeling hot on my hot girl walks. Hey, speaking of, this portion of today's episode is sponsored by Bombas, a comfort-focused premium basics brand with a mission to help those in need. So one of the many fashion faux pas committed by millennials, which are my people alongside skinny jeans, were the ankle socks. And so for years, if I was wearing socks, I'd be wearing ankle socks, but now all the young people at my gym, they've influenced me to start wearing the calf socks again. And not only do I feel cooler when I put the bands around my ankle to do what are called monster walks, now the bands don't lacerate my ankles. One of the many, many uses of calf socks. Thank you, young people. But whether you're with the times or not, Bombas has got you covered. Socks, t-shirts, underwear, they've got the good stuff. Bombas kindly sent me some of these all-sport calf socks. They're comfortable, they don't slip or bunch, and now I've launched an aspiring calf model career as an homage to one of my many heroes, Louis XIV. Not his policies, merely his calves. And also he did a lot about tableware. The reason we have butter knives, anyways, it's that honeycomb arch. That's what they call it. It makes for a snug fit, so even with these bulging calves, it doesn't get worn out. What I love most about Bombas, I feel weird with my calves out. What I love most about Bombas is that they're really trying to make a difference. They have a buy one, give one policy, which means for every item purchased, they donate one to someone in need. Plus, they have a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't like your item, you lost it, or you set it on fire, we've all been there before, you can return or exchange your purchase for free. Feel good and do good with Bombas, knowing your purchase is doing some real good out there. New customers get 20% off with the first purchase. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and use code MythicalKitchen at checkout. And thanks again to Bombas for sponsoring a portion of today's episode. And thank you to Cardinal Richelieu for really managing the court of Louis XIV. I hope you learned something about Versailles today. It's weird how often I have my feet out at work Because sometimes I don't, if I'm mid shoe change and I want to get like a Red Bull or something, I'll just walk out without shoes into the office. But there's guys at the gym that are just barefoot all the time too. I guess I don't agree with that though. I don't like when they do that. It's kind of embarrassing when it's someone you know too, and you're like, that's gross. It's an insurance liability for the gym as well. But anyways, you got to put on the shoes with the arch support, and then that's when you do the real research on the hot girl walk. It actually has been like a big, gosh dang it. Got the old man grunts now. The hot girl walk has actually been a game changer, especially if you're like in an office and you're answering Slacks. Colby walks in here with the pizza and there's just a lot of distractions. But for me, that's when I'm actually basically writing my questions and figuring out the structure of the interview. It's hot today though. It's freaking February and it's like 80 degrees out there. I don't mind being very sweaty at work though. Annalise, do you mind? You share the space with me.
No, I don't mind.
But what about when other people say their office is the smelly one?
I do mind that. Lily's spreading words that we have a fart office.
Lily said her office smells like fart.
The sun comes in through that window right there. It gets
Kind of bakes it in. It gets a little steamy in here. But also,
and Annalise doesn't even realize.
I eat a lot of cabbage throughout the day. We can be the gross crew. Well, nobody wants to be the gross crew, but I think if anyone can handle it, it's us.
Oh my god, this is heavy. I've got potatoes, gallons of water, and you got a bag of chips.
Happy to help.
Thank you so much. So these are the groceries that we can get a little bit early because they're shelf stable or they can go in the freezer. And then we'll get all the fresh like the day before.
We're just separating our frozen food and our cold food and our dry foods right now. Working on last meals means everything to me. It is the dream job. I think I was just in a lost line cook for so long and trying to find my place where this satisfies, like I get to be an artist, I get to be a chef, I get to work in production. Every day is different, every day is exciting, and every day is a special treat. So, you ever thought about that?
Come on over here. Let me show you a last meal's recipe doc. Okay, you didn't come closer. So this is our last meal's recipe doc. Mystery guests. You have to guess. So this is exactly how the team or this person wrote it out, just to make sure we get everything, all the details, and we can refer back to it. We put our guest call time. Allergy is important. We don't want to kill the guest. And then if there's anything that we want to test just to make sure we feel confident about it, we order some extra ingredients to do that. So for last meals, when a guest wants something, we'll do everything in our power to deliver it to them. The craziest time was when we got the cinnamon rolls from Canada for Finn Wolfhard. The bakery actually drove their car across the border to deliver the cinnamon rolls in time.
Okay, so normally after Lily does her little ticket thing, one of us will go ahead and just start grabbing plating. We have a whole bunch of tape that we like to write on, naming all the things that we need. So I'll have like some basket of wings. We have a whole bunch of drawers full of nice plating. We rearranged it finally. Half of it's down here and half of it's upstairs. So sometimes I'll be like, Tony, I need a bread basket.
Get it.
Exactly. For me, last meals is definitely like the cherry on top of everything we do. It's like the series I'm the most passionate about. It just reminds me of like some of the deepest conversations I ever had with people who have been over dinner and drinks, and I always look forward to that more than like going out or like going to the club. I don't do that no more, I'm old.
This is our auxiliary space where we have all of our bread baskets and extra plates and extra cups. Look at this little boat. You like that?
Thank you. Anyway, this is our plates. And we like to kind of go based off what colors vibe together, what's gonna look good on the master shot.
Will you try this?
Yes, I will.
Might need salt.
Yeah, it does need salt. Sorry, I got my lip gloss on.
You're good.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and label this one. Actually, wait, put it over here. So I remember what it's for, and then I'll kind of just keep going.
How's plating going?
Since when do you wear wigs? redo it. I need to redo it. I need to redo it.
Yeah, me and Josh share an office, and it's fun to see him slowly deep dive this person's life as he preps for a last meal. I get to be the receiver of fun facts as he discovers like new deep cuts.
He loves to randomly come in like over a 2 to 3 day span of all the things he learned from that person. And he'll come in and be like, did you know that Kelly Rowland was a cheerleader at this high school at this time and she had one booger in her nose in one picture? I'm like, all right.
So for this meal, I went on a couple runs. The first one I did, I went to Monsieur Marcel to pick up some specialty Iberico ham for the pizza we're making and some manchego cheese. And then I also went to our fishmonger place where we got all of our fish supplies for the omakase that we're doing as well.
Basically running all over LA to get what we need is a huge part of last meals. We want to get the best of the best ingredients. There's ingredients or dishes that the guest request that might be hard to find, so we can't just get it at the grocery store.
So I got to be a camera op, and it was pretty fun to be creative and get these cool little shots that I'm really proud of. There's like a Survivor Man shot of me walking to the car, and you're like, who's with him? But it's just me.
Last Meals is one of the things that I'm most proud of to work on here at Mythical in general. You know, like the messages that we're putting out there in Last Meals is very near and dear to my heart. Ben Schwartz literally impacted my own life. I'm gonna butcher this, but he talked about the like numbers of the average life expectancy and how many times he went to go see his parents a year.
All right, let's say your parents have blank amount of years left and you see them 3 to 4 times a year or something like that. That means you're only gonna have this many encounters left with your parents, and it like made me so sad and terrified.
That stuck with me, you know, being in the room, but just in general, like him being able to put that to words really, you know, made me think about what I was doing with my own life. And in fact, like, you know, I used to only get to see my parents once, and now I see them 2 times a year, which is twice as many. Am I right? Math, come on. Also makes connections with Josh. I mean, Ben and Josh are still friends and talking mainly because of this show.
Do you consent to being recorded? California is a two-party consent state.
Yeah, I guess so. I just want to know how your show went last night.
Prepping for this interview has been really unique because my schedule several days leading up to it was very unique. On Thursday night, I had like 3 friends fly in from out of town to come to my first ever and maybe only ever improv show hosted by Vic Michaelis and with Lisa Gilroy, Angela Geritana, Demi Adjuiabe, and Oscar Montoya. I told Vic during their last meal that improv is one of my biggest fears on earth, and they said, great, will you do a show with me? And I shook Vic's hand and I said, yes, I will.
Did you do improv or anything like that?
None, it's one of my biggest fears.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Will you do a show with me?
Yes.
Really? Oh my gosh, okay, yes.
now.
You have to get on
Boot
stage
camp.
with me, you've already shook my hand.
Yeah, no, I will do that. And then I forgot about that. And 3 months later, I end up on a stage with them, and that was really, really fun.
How did it feel? Were you very nervous beforehand? Were you nervous during? And then what was the feeling immediately after the show was over?
It's so funny. I actually really slept poorly the night before. Like I woke up at like 3 in the morning.
Of course.
Man.
Of course, your first show.
The first show, and then I started getting the nervous sweats at about 3 p.m. But I had like 3 of my best friends in the world all flew in and stayed at my apartment. So these are Marcus and Deep, best friends for well over a decade. This one over 2 decades at this point. And they've never been to the Mythical Studios, but they came in for the improv show last night.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd show them around and also make them be on camera.
Yeah, we're excited to see behind the scenes and see the scenes.
All the scenes. You're such a natural. That's incredible.
All right, have a great shoot. What are you doing today?
We're doing our 100th episode of Last Meals on Tuesday.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we're shooting like a behind the scenes. We've never actually showed the full process behind it. And so Colby's trying to perfect the margarita pizza because big pizza head. And this is the normal part of the process.
Yeah, we usually talk before anybody cooks any margarita pizzas, so I'm happy I jumped in at the right time.
Welcome to the test pizza station. So we got 2 types of flour. I like to roll out with AP flour, so I just put my dough on this. And then I like to line the pizza pan with semolina. It's like a little bit more coarse, so it just like gives a nice barrier for the pizza to slide off. We got our dough, we got our sauce. This is fresh mozz, which is not great for pizza. It's too wet, but it's what we have, and this is a test. So we're gonna use that. It's a very soft dough. We're doing like a Neapolitan, which I have never really made before. We're doing a sushi omakase and then a pizza omakase as well. And for me specifically, I'm prepping the pizza omakase and then I'm firing the sushi on camera. It's a lot of balancing who's firing what and who's gonna be doing what, especially with the pizza.
We have such talented cooks and they're so good at cooking things, but to make a perfect margarita Neapolitan pizza, this is something that you work years and years
Never
and years
done it
on.
before, man.
And
Never
we got
done.
like a week for a guest to show up. So sometimes you're just like, make a Krabby Patty.
Poor Tony.
You're like, you should have just made Noah Khan a normal burger. He should have asked for a normal burger if that's what he wanted. No, we gave him an experience.
Hi. Welcome to my crib. Hi, I'm Sam. Welcome to Mythical. I'm an executive coordinator here and part of the talent team. So I'm in charge of welcoming all of our guests that we have on for GMM, for last meals, or guests for Mythical Kitchen. So this is the green room. This is where all of our talent comes to hang out ahead of time. Here is our really nice egg stool. Obviously, this is our makeup vanity. And this is where we put together their gifts. Typically, we like to use this star paper to remind them of their own power. For our talent this week, I haven't gotten our release yet, and we can't film without that, so.
Oh, shit. All right, sometimes stuff doesn't happen the way that you want it to. I have been talking to Salsa Guy, aka the deli that owns the recipe to the spread that this guest parents deli owned by this guest parents long time ago. They said they couldn't ship it yesterday, so now it's coming tomorrow morning, which is when the interview happens, so it's cutting it pretty tight. I write the recipe docs, but we are all incredible cooks. I like when everyone takes it into their own hands to season their food nicely, and like Colby did all of this research on how to properly make Neapolitan style dough. And I love it when everyone just takes the time to research the foods and just like feel very passionate about it. So the recipe doc is, yes, you have to follow that, but also I trust everyone to put their own creativity into it.
I am working on the veg cuts, and I famously have the best knife skills in the kitchen. So I like to keep this teapot on my head so that I can maintain a good posture while I'm cutting my, hey, ain't that just the way? I've got a bunch of other veggies I just cut. I put some in the fridge. I'm also dicing some onions for some stuff. So that's my prep basically, is just doing all of the veg cuts.
This is a scallop.
This is a scallop.
For the omakase, of course, we wanted them as fresh as possible. So we are taking these apart. As you can you see in here? We're just loosening it up from the shell.
And all its little body parts. But this is all sand.
This is the only part that we use. But yeah, we're gonna rinse them in ice cold water. The beauty of getting it in the shell is that we can use these for plating. It's gonna be a really nice sushi piece, so.
I've been learning how to shuck oysters.
I'm
Is it
just-
anything like that?
It's easier.
Weird. I've really loved Last Meals, sitting in on the interviews and then working in the post process, listening to the interviews afterwards. It's become sort of a master class to me of learning how people's minds work.
For me specifically, hearing all the different perspectives on death and afterlife and human connection, I think has been really eye-opening for me, who kind of grew up in a very sheltered home and lifestyle. Almost peace of mind, and has made me a lot more open to other perspectives on life and death, and has actually brought me a lot of comfort as I've been navigating that journey for the past couple years.
Ironically, my last job was working for a hospice, and I thought that I was going to be stuck in that job and never get a job at Mythical. And here I am working at Mythical, shooting a show about death, which is a crazy full circle moment for me. It's funny because in that job, I would like spend my free time watching Mythical Kitchen, and now here I am combining the two, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's cool to work in like such a fun environment with people who are just like so driven. It's not my main thing. I work on like, you know, other productions, but I think Last Meals is pretty cool.
Say that it's your favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not my main thing, but Last Meals is probably my favorite.
Can you do it?
I work on a lot of stuff. Wonderhole, GMM, Wonderhole. But last meals is definitely one of my favorite things to work on.
No, your favorite.
Oh, I had to say my, okay.
Read the cue card.
Okay, sorry. I work on Wonderhole, I work on GMM, I work on all sorts of stuff around here. But last meals is, without a doubt, my favorite thing ever that I've ever done.
So every last meal shoot day, I generally get to the office, I make myself a coffee, even though most days I would have had pre-workout and gone to the gym. This morning I didn't get to have that, so I ripped the 5-hour energy shot at home before I got in the car. But I barricade myself in my office and I listened to some sort of heavy techno beat. Today is Charlotte DeWitt. You guys like Charlotte DeWitt? She's great. Anyways, so I'm listening to techno and just staring at my questions, trying to figure out where I can move certain questions, how I can realign things, how I can reorganize things. And then I will periodically pace. I like pacing. It's great. I'm really excited. This is really fun. This is part of the process where you kind of stomp around and you're a little nervous and there's a lot going on. They're showing up and there's a lot of dishes and this is the general rush that happens before every episode. What you all see is just all the calmness of sitting down there and go, wow, look at them having existential conversations. And then what actually happens is it's like 5 people all running around, freaking out, sleazing off things that we just built over this and get back here. And then sometimes when you shoot 50 episodes a year, that's 50 out of one every 13% of the days are filming a thing. You get sick sometimes, and sometimes you're not feeling your best.
Every day before each interview, I have to print a lot of things. I have to print beat sheets, schedules, and also Josh's show cards, which are very important. I need to have them done fast so Josh can keep rehearsing his questions. And the printer likes to stop after each show card is printed for like 5 minutes. And it's just like, hey, we're just gonna hang out for 5 minutes because I'm not gonna print out the rest. And I usually have to bang it and like hit it a little bit for it to print out the rest. And I feel like every last meals we have, it's always Josh rushing into the kitchen. KG, I lost my show cards. Or who's seen my show cards? Where are my show cards?
Has anyone seen my cards? Has anyone seen the show cards? Show cards. Show cards.
Are they in your office?
Show cards.
He just had them.
Too obvious. Too obvious. Has anyone checked the fridge? Have you seen his show cards?
Are they in the bathroom?
I was just in the bathroom. No, but I didn't have my show
They're ready
cards.
for us.
All right.
And I was like, did you just go to the bathroom? He's like, yes, go to the bathroom. Did you just go to your office? Yes, go to the office. Did you walk in the parking lot? Might be on top of your car. I don't know. But most of the time, one of us will find it, and it's a relief, so.
And then typically, once I get the show cards that have all of my questions written out on them, it has the lightning round, it has the guest's actual last meal printed on it, I walk around with those and I shuffle through them and I recite questions to nobody. But I do this thing where I look past somebody, generally Winnie, except Winnie thinks that I'm talking to her and I'm not. And so sometimes Winnie just answers the questions from the guest point of view, which is always really fun for me.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this, that it wasn't for me. I thought this was like a cute little inside joke that we had, at the beginning of every episode. So that's really cool.
A huge part, an integral part of our process here is vocal stimming.
Pecorino. Romano.
It's a chain reaction. Everyone's little, like there's never a quiet day on the MK set.
We all have a very same level of personality. It's just like different waves like this. But I feel like Josh handpicked all of us for a reason and it worked out and it's awesome.
Hey guys, so today we're doing beauties. So beauties happens before the interview, and that's the pretty little slow-mo shots that happen when Josh is describing the dish during the courses.
So when we film beauties, we just basically want to get the prettier shot of all of the food that we can do in the process. Sometimes there's food with a really interesting process, and we like to document that as best as we can. We're always looking for steam, sprinkling cheese, sprinkling cheese.
Okay, so we have sushi's coming. Oh, my types are good. Taylor, I'm coming to you.
So after beauties, we have maybe like an hour, I think, to set up. It's quick after that. We're moving fast day of the interview. We cook in the Mythical kitchen, but we have another kitchen located just down the hallway. But that's where we're executing the entire food for the interview.
KG, how's the butthole look?
A little bit to the left. A little bit to the left.
The left?
The left.
So this table, it brings its own set of issues. It's on wheels, which sounds convenient, but it's the most inconvenient thing that could ever be. And there's a butthole in the table, and that butthole is not in the center. But then if the booth is lined up and the table's not lined up, then the booth won't be lined up. If the booth is lined up, then the table's not. And then the seats aren't. And then the camera's not. So if the camera's not in the right spot and then the table's not in the right spot, then the booth needs to be in a better spot for the table to line up with the booth. What can you do?
How we rehearse plating is culinary will set up all the plates that they chose for each course, and we will divide them by course 1 through course 5 or course 4. And we'll have sit-ins, which is usually Annalise and Blaine, and we will get hands for each plate and set them on the table. Taylor will make sure everything's centered with the butthole of the table. Then we'll take a quick picture and then assign those plates to each culinary producer or me or Blaine or Annalise, depending on how many plates there are in each course. And then we'll do a little practice round where Annalise is Josh and she'll go,
It's time for the third course of your last meal.
Is that comfy?
Yeah. So recently I got a promotion where I was able to hold the GoPro for a Struggle Meals episode, and I thought I got some pretty sick shots, so they're giving it back to me for this meal. And I have a whole list of shots that I am going to shoot, is that the right word? Shoot and film and roll. So get ready.
I think one of the most nerve-wracking parts about doing last meals is some of us tend to get in our heads a little bit about like, oh, well, would they like this? Like, do I need to keep adjusting, or when is it a time to walk away?
And right now is the point where my mind's just like a wind tunnel, and it's just like running through, you know, it's like in A Clockwork Orange, they pry his eyes open, and he's like, ah, as they're showing him images of war. What's up?
Hey, you ready to be mic'd?
Yeah, have you seen Clockwork Orange?
No, of course not.
Like I said before, I am the production manager, but I'm also in the hair and makeup department. So our boy Josh gets very sweaty and very moist, if you will, before the interview. And so we want to make sure he's not shiny in front of the camera. So every time before an interview, I will take him over to the booth to be in front of the lighting and powder him up.
Every person has exactly two things in common. We all gotta eat and we're all gonna die. Today's guest is your failed presidential campaign. Almost got it. You gotta start doing it fast. You gotta go fast, fast, fast.
Are you taking a picture or a video?
So on the day of the interview, once the guest arrives, Sam lets me know on headset that they're here and ready to come over. We'll walk over with Sound and Josh to meet them in the green room and just welcome them to the show, set a good vibe. Honestly, pretty easy at that point. Everyone's done the hard work in advance, and now it's just show them a warm and welcoming experience. Taylor, our director, will show them which cameras to direct their eyes to. I'll let them know that we censor some curse words, but be themselves. And I'll give them a heads up that at the end of the interview, we're gonna be asking them, what would your last words be?
This is MK666, last meals with take one, Mark.
So during the interview, sometimes it's going really well where Josh is right on time, the time that has been communicated, and Annalise and KG are on the same page, know what the last question is. Sometimes he's so locked in, which is great, it's great content, that it's like another 20 minutes. And so that can get really confusing when we fire things too early.
As the interview's going on, I'm sitting at monitor watching, and I'm trying my best to tell with a list of Josh's questions which one is gonna be the last one he says before we go to the next meal, because then I'll try and give the culinary team a heads up. And they came up with a great code word system where I say into the walkie, fruit salad, and then they respond back. And it's foolproof, it works every time, and it's very serious, and only professionals do this. Perfect.
Last Meals is so meaningful to me for way too many reasons to recount, but I think the nicest thing that anyone ever said to me was my best friend in the world who said, I've watched almost every video that you've put out and I'm very proud of you, but watching Last Meals is the truest version of yourself. And I think that's what so many of us should strive to be, is just the truest version of ourselves. And I'm so grateful that because of all of you and because of everybody in this room that I can be that. I kind of never thought it would be possible. And so it's just really, really gratifying that I don't have to really show up with a different mask on. I can actually be myself, and for that to be rewarded is like, it's the most special feeling in the world.
Joe is like the truest expression of himself, so he really is that on and off camera, and it's an honor to be around that.
I feel like it really allows the audience the opportunity to kind of witness these people that are often seen as idols, kind of break down some walls.
Yes, life can be short, life can be long, however they interpret it, but you should appreciate every single day and every moment that you live.
I think Last Meals is the coolest show on the internet. I think the food on it is incredible. I think the people who make the food are incredibly talented. Just for like a little bit though.
So I wasn't going to say anything, but then I started thinking about how my girlfriend at home was going to be watching this and going, did you get to say a little thing? And I'd be like, yeah, but I didn't really want to be on camera. So, and then she would have, she would have killed me for that. So shout out to her. I'm going to try and think of something.
Last Meals was really starting to gain its momentum when I was personally going through a very strange and hard time when my mom was getting diagnosed with colon cancer, and she passed away a couple years ago. But this Last Meals crew has gotten me through some hard times that they probably don't even realize, with just how fun it is to work on the show.
Always seems like every time I'm on set, someone has something to say that is relevant to my life.
Basically, Last Meals to me means so much. Before working here, I was just working some really boring jobs that I hated. And so coming in here, first freelance and then full-time, has just been the coolest thing ever.
This team is some of the most fun people I've ever been around. I cannot say enough about how awesome this job has been, and here's to 100 more.
Also, cheesecake. I gotta put a joke on everything. I don't have to. What's that about? Hey, get this guy on Last Meals. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Hungry for more? Catch up on every Last Bite with the Last Meals playlist at lastmeals.com.